Schiff Premium on Locals, where I will be taking your questions and giving you answers live for probably about an hour or so. That seems to be about how long these Q&A sessions last. And so I hope everybody who is listening live right after I did my podcast is here. Of course, people can listen to the Locals Premium Q&A whenever they want. It's up on the website continuously. So if you don't participate in the live Q&A, you can always come back if you're a member and just hear me respond to a lot of the questions that were asked, because some of the questions that are asked are probably the same type of questions that you would have asked had you been participating in the live Q&A. So anyway, let me go and take a look at the first question. Is coming from Frankie Box, and he's writing, if gold and silver become the new official or unofficial monetary standard and they're being used as domestic and international transactions on a daily basis, how will people be able to verify the authenticity of the coins? Well, again, if people start using gold and silver, they're probably not going to be using the coins, right? If it's official money, they'll probably be using either a paper currency or a digital currency that is backed by gold, or they'll just be transacting in gold digitally. The gold will be sitting in a vault somewhere, and people will transact in that gold without actually having to touch it, right? That's the beauty of modern technology. You don't need to carry around the coins and bars unless you want to transact anonymously, in which case that's how you would do it. But the way people recognize authenticity is a brand. You have a coin that is made from a reputable mint, and you can recognize it and you can see that it hasn't been tampered with, and you'll know exactly what you get. It has the weight of the gold written right on it. And they actually do have little kits that you could buy, that could actually tell if something is actual gold or fake gold. So it's not hard to differentiate between real gold and some kind of fool's gold, unless that fool's gold is Bitcoin. Then for some reason people have a hard time differentiating it. But anyway, next question is, Save, you said in a podcast that blockchain could work with gold. Yes, if you create a blockchain for gold, can we invest in your company? Yeah, I've been thinking about that. I've been weighing various options. I don't know that I would need any outside money, though, if this is something that I decide to do. But the main thing holding me back is the government, the regulators, right? Look what happened to my bank. Look what they did to that. By the way, it's almost 16 months. No one's gotten any money out of my bank. And, they cracked down on that, even though I probably had the most compliant bank in the world when it comes to money laundering and tax evasion. I mean, nobody had compliance. In fact, probably of all the banks in the world, my bank probably had a lower percentage of tax evaders or money launderers just about any bank in the world, because of how difficult we made it to open up an account and how difficult we made it to use your account. We had so much compliance, and we ended up getting put out of business by the government under the pretense that we didn't have any compliance, even though they couldn't find a single shred of evidence of that. Not only did they not find any evidence the bank did anything wrong, they couldn't even find any evidence that a single one of my customers did anything wrong. That's how squeaky clean the bank was. But they saw a lot of pressure. I had a 100% reserve bank. I was introducing gold and silver into the banking system. I guess they didn't like that, right? They don't like competition. I mean, my bank would be booming right now with what's going on. I probably have the single most solvent bank left in the world. Who knows how many deposits I'd have if the government hadn't destroyed me. Anyway, and the government and the media working together, a corrupt, unholy alliance. Question, Peter, in your personal portfolio, what percentage do you have in developing versus emerging markets? I have more in developed markets. I'm not sure the exact percentage. And I also have a lot of energy stocks and mining stocks, and they tend to be from developed markets. But yeah, I mean, I have more developed, but I've added to my emerging markets, and I've been waiting. I mean, I have dry powder. I'm looking to. I put some more money into my own emerging market fund about a week ago or so. I added to that, and if it goes down, I'll buy more. I mean, I still think there's some downside here in the stock market. I mean, the markets have not really reacted, but at the same time, I think there's a lot of upside in gold stocks. So I've been buying those. I think gold stocks should be going up, but there are other stocks, in my opinion, that should be going down. and I'll buy more if they do. But what really should be going down is the dollar, and it's not yet, but it will. And when it falls, it's going to really collapse. Matt Dillon, 23. Okay. In a major market sell-off, even global, you say some stocks can go up. Are oil stocks and your foreign funds likely to go up? If the dollar goes down, I think my funds are going to go up. If the dollar goes up, then no. I mean, my funds could go down because if all the stocks go down. But I do think that gold stocks could go up when other stocks go down. Oil stocks could go up when other stocks go down if oil's going up. But I just don't want to hold cash. That's why I don't like these money managers that are holding a bunch of cash thinking they're heroes because they're getting 5%. It's going to be nothing once the bottom drops out of the cash because there's so much risk in those money markets, even though it looks like you're earning money. Plus, if your investment advisor has got you in cash, you could just take your money out. I mean, if he's got most of your money in cash, what are you paying for? If you got a little money in cash, sure, yeah, you need a little bit of it to be opportunistic. But if you got a money manager and he's got half your portfolio, 70% of your portfolio in cash, I would take that money out. Why? If he's charging you to sit on babysit cash, you can do that yourself. But there's lots of good places to deploy that cash. That's what you pay a money manager for, to figure out where to put it. We got a lot of portfolio managers on staff, CFAs that are finding good places to put money because we don't want to just let it sit there. L Fishman 1234. Do you think there's more gold stock downturn from here before it skyrockets? Not really. I mean, again, I think gold is bottomed for this cycle, so I think we're headed higher. And gold stocks are still down quite a bit from where they were, even though gold has recovered almost everything that it lost. The gold stocks have barely recovered from what they've lost. I mean, they're off the lows for sure. But just playing around with this is bothering me. But the stocks haven't recovered anywhere near as much as the metal because there's so much bearishness out there. So I'd be a buyer. Keep on buying. I mean, I just bought already, so I don't have to buy now. I bought. But if you didn't buy it all on this dip, it's still cheap. I mean, you're not on the lows, but you're way below where we were a month or two ago. Peter, do you think about the gold bars that Costco is selling on their website? I mean, I don't really think about them. I read about them. I read they sold out. But yeah, I mean, eventually everybody's going to be selling gold bars. Right? That might be one of the few things people are buying. In fact, eventually everybody's going to maybe want to be paid in gold, not just sell gold, but earn gold when they provide a service or sell your product. What is that? JRZ44. Peter, for an investor set on indexing, would you recommend a total world index excluding the U.S.? Well, if you're going to index, then you should exclude the U.S. But why index when you've got somebody who can pick the best stocks? See, if you indexing is like, look, I have no idea what to buy. I'm just going to buy everything. All right, I can't tell a good investment from a bad investment, so I'm just going to buy every investment, and it's just all going to average out, right? I'm going to diversify away some of that risk. Well, the way I get rid of some of that risk is by hiring smart people to analyze the stocks for me and to weed out the bad ones. And I just want to buy the good companies, right? That will have better returns over time. Now, in the short run, sometimes the indexers can do better because everybody is buying the index. And so the stocks that dominate the index go up, even if they're overpriced. They go up anyway. So in the short run, you could do better indexing. In the long run, you're going to do better stock picking if you got the right people picking your stocks. And I believe I have the right team. We're picking the right stocks. So there's no reason to index when you can hire me and beat the indexes over time, right? And that's the goal. And to beat them substantially, not just beat them by a little bit, but to beat the crap out of them. That's my plan. Jeff Kim, if central banks are buying a lot of gold, why are people buying silver? Well, central banks buy a lot of gold. It'd be difficult for them to buy silver because where would they put it? And they have to make big purchases. So it's a lot easier to store gold. And gold is more of a monetary metal for banks and less volatile than silver. People buy silver because a lot of people can't afford to buy gold. I mean, you can buy $10 worth of silver, $20, $100. hard to buy that little of gold. I mean, unless you're doing it, digitally. And they call silver the poor man's gold, right? So that's what happens. But you should be buying both.